Hello, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's Tuesday, so it's CASEing the Catalogue day, and I've got a really great card for you today. It's straight out of the pages 70-71 using the Perennial Birthday stamp set. So I'm going to bring the card in first, and I'm really happy with this card. Now, we've got Coastal Cabana card base. We've got Graceful Glass designer vellum, which is really pretty thick, beautiful vellum. We have some heat embossing here, the Perennial Birthday stamp set, and this ribbon is the Whisper White sheer ribbon. So it's this one here, and I've coloured it in. I'm going to bring the catalogue in, and on page 70, the card is up here on the corner, and they show that they use a sponge dauber to colour the ribbon. Now, I actually went with a different technique. I just got a little container with some water, some re-inker, chucked some re-inker in there, placed my ribbon in, left it for a few hours, and then when I thought I got to the right colour that I was sort of after, I took it out and just let it dry overnight. Now, I didn't go with the sponge dauber technique, only because I thought, well, that might be a little bit messy, so I thought I'll go the other way. If you try the sponge dauber technique and you actually like it, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know how it actually turns out. Okay, so like I said, this is a card. Let's get started. So our card's using the Perennial Birthday stamp set, which I just wanted to show you quickly, the stamp set. Not only does it have a few images of some flowers, but it has quite a few different sentiments that have different fonts. And I like that a stamp set has different fonts. It gives you a lot more variation for your stamp set. It's also using the Graceful Glass designer vellum. It comes in 6x6. Now, you can leave it that colour, or you can colour it with the stamping blends. You can colour it with markers. You can sponge with it. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but it comes with lots of different patterns, which is really great as well. The ink that we've used today is Mango Melody, Flirty Flamingo and Bermuda Bay, which is nice bright colours. Bring the ribbon in that I've already coloured, and like I said, the way I did it was with the Flirty Flamingo re-inker. So just in a little container, some water and some re-inker. Left it there for quite a few hours. I think it was about 3 or 4 hours, and then I just took it out and let it dry overnight. So I have my kit here, and you can find all the measurements and supplies that I've used for this card on my blog, and that's in the description of this video. You can also see in the description of this video a link to my online store where you can purchase all your Stampin' Up supplies, and there's a Hostess code there each month, so if you make an order, use the Hostess code and I'll send you out a free gift. So we have a piece of Coastal Cabana card base to start with, and I've already scored and folded it. We have the designer vellum, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some tear and tape, because what I want to do is I only want to put tear and tape in the middle where our Whisper White piece is going to be covered up. So I'm going to, that'll be enough to hold the vellum in place, so you won't have to worry. There we go. As long as it's covered up, that's fine. I'm going to place that one straight down. Now this actually measures the whole card front. So it's going to cover the whole card front. There we go. And that tear and tape, you can see it slightly, but it's really not completely noticeable. So that works really well. Then I'm going to bring in my larger piece of Whisper White, and we're just going to do all our stamping. So I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay first, and I'm also going to use this flower stamp. So I'm going to stamp that around in a few different ways, moving my stamp around also. One there as well. There we go. The next colour I'm going to use is the Mango Melody, and we're doing those little dots So we're just sort of filling in here and there. And one down there. And if you haven't yet bought the new chamois that Stampin' Up have brought out, I highly recommend it. It works extremely well. And that's clean. So now I'm going to bring in the Floaty Flamingo, and I just want to do one of those dots over this side. There we go. And then we're going to bring in that little flower and just stamp in a few of those flowers. I'm happy with that. So if we bring in our our basic black cardstock, and we're going to heat emboss with white embossing powder. So I'm going to hit it, because we are heat embossing, I'm going to heat it with the embossing buddy. And bring my Versamark ink in, and the happy birthday stamp. I'm going to try and line that up with the top so I'm not cutting too much off, or cutting top and bottom of that piece. And I have my Whisper White embossing powder. I'm going to heat that up with the heat tool, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that heat embossed really well. Now I'm going to bring my stamping trimmer in, and I'm just going to cut that down. So just trimming that so it's fairly even. There we go, that looks good. And now we're just going to bring in a piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And in that stamp set, there is a stamp that says, wishing you the best on your special day. We're just going to use the wishing you, but I'm going to ink that all up and stamp it. Just like that. And then I'm going to bring in my scissors and just cutting that down so it's wishing you. I find long-handled scissors are a bit easier to cut straight. So it is a little bit easier to cut it straight if they're a bit longer. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my ribbon in, and I'm going to tie a bow on the side here. Bring it all the way to the front, over to the side. It needs to come down a fair bit. Because I don't have two, I need sort of like 3 or 4 hands. I'm just going to do a knot there and then do my bow. For me, I find that's just a little bit easier sometimes with ribbon that doesn't have any give to it. Okay, that's super sweet, isn't it? So now I'm going to put some dimensionals on this, and because the ribbon goes in the middle, what I want to do is, I'm looking for my dimensionals. They're right in front of me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put half dimensionals on the top and the bottom, so I'll have nothing in the middle to impede that ribbon. So these side pieces of your dimensionals are perfect for this. And cut this side down as well. Okay, we got there in the end. And take the backings off and I can stick that straight down. I hope you're enjoying these series of casing the catalogues. I think Stampin' Up do such a great job with their samples in the catalogue that it seems silly not to use them. Okay, so we're also going to put some dimensionals on the Wishing You. Hopefully that'll fit. Yep. And we just need a little bit more. There we go. And sticking that down. And I'm going to stick some dimensionals on the back, so 4 of those. So this is quite popped up. Such a sweet card. I love the colours. I love the pinks and the blues and the Mango Melody. Well, that's a definite favourite for me. It's funny because when I first saw the new colours, I wasn't real keen on the Mango Melody, but it's really growing on me. There you go. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this card. If you haven't hit subscribed already, please do. I'd love it if you left me a comment. And don't forget, you can head over to my blog and get all the measurements and supplies and some better photos as well. My online store is open 24/7, so if you live in Australia and you would like some Stampin' Up supplies, you can do so on my online store. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to help you out in any way I can. Until next week, have a great day. Bye.